How's it going, everybody? January 2022 Merch by Amazon sales update. So I don't know if I should start by, celebrating that January's over. I mean, if we're looking at the calendar year, January is over, which is kind of like, holy crap, man, January's over. If we're talking about merch, which we are, then I think we need to celebrate, at least I need to celebrate that January's over. But it's actually not completely bad because there's going to be a positive spin to my update, and it's just basically a perspective that I'm taking, that I need to take, and I think a lot of you guys, especially in lower tiers, will appreciate. Let's get into the numbers and then I'll talk about what I just briefly mentioned. January as a whole has been the worst month since October 2020. So all of 2021 has actually been better than this month, than January. 110 total sales, total income of $1,933.86 for the total royalties of $300. So I actually cracked 300, and I was wondering if that was going to happen with the US sales. Now the typical products are selling, and actually I'm a little happy about this because standard t-shirts are right above 50%, which is good because pop sockets at one time were taken over. And if I'm selling more pop sockets, which of course I'm not complaining about, but I'm talking about the ratio here, if I'm selling more pop sockets than anything, that means that my royalties per sale are lower, and I don't want that. Like I always keep talking about a couple months ago when my royalties per sale were over $4 because it was certain type of shirts that were selling that were my best sellers where I had royalties of close to $5 per sale. But if I'm talking about pop sockets, the chances are that $225 is probably the highest that I'll go because I would price them at $14.99. And if I've priced a pop socket lower than $14.99, that means that my royalties would be less than $225, and that everything else is, as you can see, in single digits. And again, this kind of a statistic, I guess, just makes me keep thinking about, why am I listing, throw pillows or hoodie? Well, hoodies, I think definitely a strong product, but like for example, throw pillows or tote bags or something that has never sold. Again, I'm okay with it now because of this. I still have a lot of room. Honestly, unless I get super busy with designs, not products, it's going to take me a very long time to get to 20,000. So I keep rethinking my strategy. I really want to maybe take some time, adjust my schedule. Like for example, I'm spending very little time every day on merch. Like I'm still putting time in, but I'm talking like I need to maybe do a couple of thousand of designs and just list it to as many products as possible. But I'm thinking take those couple thousand and just list them to standard t-shirts, maybe premium t-shirts like pop sockets, like if it works, but mostly t-shirts, like stuff that actually sells. My total sales, 177. So this is, I mentioned a couple of videos ago that even though my US sales are, as I explained, terrible or to be fair, very low, these other marketplaces are slowly creeping in where it's making me just enough money to have a decent profit. And this is where I said at the beginning of the video I was going to get just a little positive because I really need to keep perspective here, because even though you guys know how I feel about Merch by Amazon, like this is a long-term project. This could literally change your life when it comes to your income if you know what you're doing. Like there are people making thousands and thousands of dollars in royalties every single month. I'm not there, but that's the possibility. That's the potential here. But here's my positive perspective here. I added all this up, and let's see if I can show it to you guys. Here it is. My total royalties for the month are $516 US. So I added British pounds here, euros, Japanese yen, and my profit. So this is where I want to take a second and actually say this slowly, and so that people realize what I'm talking about when I'm talking about perspective. The profit for the worst month since October 2020, so in over a year, is $516. Like, that's the point that I've actually gotten to with zero experience when I started in, I don't even know if it was 2017, 2000, like when I was just like, I literally learned what POD was, print on demand. I didn't even know that existed. No graphic design background, just learning, like, just even figuring out what keywords meant. And the worst month in a year and a bit, year and a half, I'm going to get a deposit of $516 into my bank account. This is just one platform. I mentioned my other stores from time to time, but we're only talking about merch on this channel. $516, the worst month in over a year, and that's the perspective that I'm going with. I have to stay positive, because if that's what I'm going to have to deal with, I'm okay with that. Let's see what happened. So there were a couple of days where I was talking about, and I did wonder if yesterday was actually pretty unique, because I saw a spike in my US sales, but there were a couple of days where I was actually beating my US sales with not only like certain marketplaces, but they were like in total sales for the rest of the marketplaces compared to my US sales were actually beating my US sales, which is just like, to me it's nuts, because like, I mean, we all start with US. Actually, I don't know what happens with the new accounts right now. If I'm assuming all the marketplaces are enabled, but when I started, like, there was no option to sell anywhere else. So that's kind of like where things work out. The other thing that when I was actually doing the math, and let's go back to the month here, my Japanese profits are actually, and then I talked about this a while ago, they were extremely low. I did the conversion wrong, I guess, initially when I was setting up my Merch Titans automation pricing, and I was setting all my products in Japan to get about $1 in profits, which I wasn't aware of that. So now I'm sitting at about $2 and two and a bit, which is okay until I figure things out. I'm okay with that. So this year, my Japanese profits were close to $50. I think it was something like 47 or something like that, which is okay. Like, I don't mind that. So that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up here, but I wanted to tell you guys that, like I said, definitely the worst month in a while, and this is what I want to actually, let me show you that before I wrap things up. So this is where we're sitting right here, January 2022. So like, if we go all the way back, so 2021, and then going back to November 2020, and then October is actually the worst. So this is kind of where I'm sitting. I'm right now hitting the sales that I was getting in July of 2020, August 2020, September, and then just beating out October. So this kind of spike is possible. Hopefully it happens, and like I opened the video with kind of joking that January is over. I actually mean that. I hope it goes back up, but I know that the standard is or the expected is a drop in sales for February as well. So we'll see. I really hope that doesn't happen for me, but it would be actually normal for sales to drop in February. Anyways, I'll leave it here. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon.